love a pair of running shoes, a holy pair of jeans. She looks great in cheap sunglasses, she looks great in anything. She's I want a piece of chocolate, take me to a movie. She's I can't find a thing to wear, now and then she's moody. She's a Saturn with a sunroof, with her brown hair blowing. She's a soft place to land and a good feeling knowing. She's a warm conversation that I wouldn't miss for nothing. She's a fighter when she's mad, and she's a lover when she's loving. And she's everything I ever wanted and everything I need. When I talk about her, I go on and on and on, 'cause she's everything to me. She's a Saturday out on the town and a church girl on Sunday. She's a cross around her neck and a cuss word 'cause it's Monday. She's a bubble bath and candles, baby come and kiss me. She's a one glass of wine and she's feeling kinda tipsy. She's the giver I wish I could be and the stealer of the covers. She's a picture in my wallet and my unborn children's mother. She's the hand that I'm holding when I'm on my knees and praying. She's the answer to my prayer, and she's the song that I'm playing. And she's everything I ever wanted and everything I need. When I talk about her, I go on and on and on.
one for the bride. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor and remember those that could not be here to celebrate with us today. Thank you. You may be seated.
Cool.
First and foremost, welcome. On behalf of Chelsea and Joe, I'd like to formally thank you for being present today. We're gathered here to witness these two publicly declare their love for one another. But it's clear how much each of you loves them too. Chelsea and Joe, today we will celebrate the love you have discovered in each other and support the commitment you are about to make. Marriage is more than two people standing here and repeating vows. There's an entire lifetime ahead of you. There are skills to be learned and practiced daily. Part of marriage is finding happiness. Continue to search for the good, the fun, and the beautiful in this life to share with each other. Part of marriage is being flexible. So within your marriage, cultivate flexibility, patience, and understanding, all while maintaining a sense of joy and humor. Part of marriage is companionship. Strive to comfort one another and develop the capacity to forgive and heal your differences day by day. Remember that your love can always prevail in times of turmoil. It will drive you to not only learn and to grow as individuals, but become a stronger team together. Today, as you join yourselves in marriage, there is a vast and unknown future stretching out before you. Today you enter as individuals, but you will leave here as husband and wife, your lives blending together and expanding the ties of your family and friends. You are embarking upon a great adventure, through which all of us here know you will prevail. I'm going to read you a short poem by Neil Gaiman titled, All I Know About Love. This is everything I have to tell you about love. Nothing. This is everything I've learned about marriage. Nothing. Only that the world out there is complicated, and there are beasts in the night and delight and pain, and the only thing that makes it okay sometimes is to reach out a hand in the darkness and find another hand to squeeze, and not to be alone. It's not the kisses, or never just the kisses. It's what they mean. Somebody's got your back. Somebody knows your worst self, and somehow they don't want to rescue you, or send for the army to rescue them. It's not two broken halves becoming one. It's the light from a distant lighthouse bringing you both safely home, because home is wherever you are both together. So this is everything I have to tell you about love and marriage. Nothing. Like a book without pages or a forest without trees, because there are things you cannot know before you experience them, because no study can prepare you for the joys or the trials, because nobody else's love, nobody else's marriage is like yours. And it's a road you can only learn by walking it, a dance you cannot be taught. A song that did not exist before you began together to sing. And because in the darkness you will reach out a hand, not knowing for certain if someone else will be there, and your hands will meet. And then, neither of you will ever be alone again. And that's all I know about love. Chelsea and Joe, there is no other love story quite like your love story. We've talked about the path ahead, but not yet about the road that led you here. And to simplify it, we're all out here because of some chicken cutlets. It was the summer of 2013. The air was warm, nothing like today. The days were long, and nearly every day, Joe had the urge to get lunch from Dunn's Corner Market. And Chelsea had the desire to keep getting a paycheck, so she put up with this summer stalker. Well, truth be told, with his hair slicked back and tattoos, he was starting to grow on her too.
It wasn't for him though.
Not so much on her boss though. When that summer ended, like summers tend to do, they both knew their daily rendezvous would be coming to an end. A coworker passed Chelsea Joe's phone number, and I quote, "Just in case he bitches out." But have no fear. As you can see, Mr. Casanova did not bitch out. He passed her his number himself later that day.
That's right.
Chelsea seized the opportunity and texted him as soon as she went on her lunch break. There's something special about that. One day you're working or maybe grabbing lunch, and the next thing you know, your life has been changed forever. The magic of life and of your marriage is in these moments. Moments you'll never forget. Moments like your first date. So for those of us that weren't there, let me set the scene. Get ready. Bentley's Tavern, waterfront, cloth napkins, romantic candle on the table, the menu to die for, seared citrus scallops, pistachio crusted salmon fillet, Tuscan bean soup. The waiter asked Chelsea what she'll be having this evening. Plain pasta with butter. I'm bringing this up for two reasons. The first, a reminder of the foundation that this relationship is built from authenticity from the very first date. The second, if Joe's Italian heart could handle this type of pain and still ask for a second date, you know the love is real. Let's fast forward a few years, quite a few years, if I could add that. Joe pays for Chelsea to get her hair done, and he offers to cook dinner. It's a celebration because it's her first day in a new office, or so she thought. When she gets home, the food is ready, and just as she sits down to eat, Joe decides now is the moment that he'd like to go fix the bathroom door. Rushing her, he asks, "Can you bring me the screwdriver off the counter?" Bewildered, she huffs, grabs the screwdriver, contemplates impaling him with it, and makes her way to the bathroom. There's Joe on one knee. His phone starts playing Marry Me. He freezes, unable to speak. Chelsea can't manage to stop. Really? Really? No, really? Really? You mean it? Finally, he manages to ask, "So is that a yes?" Did she say yes?
Obviously.
Moments, fleeting yet unforgettable. This too is one of those moments. This moment here today in front of your family and friends is a choice. And over the next 100 years or so, you'll be faced with many more. Today you're choosing each other. This is the moment you're making the choice to tackle forever together. One of the hardest parts, because certainly there will be many, is that you don't know what those next 100 years will bring. Just as you're not the same people you were during that summer you met, you will not be the same people 10, 20, 30, even 40 years from now. The weight of the vows you're about to make is choosing to love that different person. Vow to keep making vows. As you grow and evolve, you will need different things from one another. Be flexible, understanding, supportive, and grow together. We don't need someone else to make us complete. We need someone else to love us completely. Chelsea, do you choose Joe and vow to keep choosing Joe for the rest of this lifetime and for whatever may come next?
I do.
Joe, do you choose Chelsea and vow to keep choosing Chelsea for the rest of this lifetime and for whatever may come next?
That's right.
Okay. Chelsea, one more time I ask you, do you choose Joe and vow to keep choosing Joe even though you're going to be cleaning up after him for at least the next 50 years?
I do.
All right, Joe, your last chance here. One more time I ask you, do you choose Chelsea and vow to keep choosing Chelsea even though you will be late to everything for the next 50 years?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. Yes.
All right, you guys heard it. Let's make it official. May I please have the rings? Oh gosh, yours gets lost in his. Love that. Chelsea and Joe, you've chosen to exchange rings as a reminder of these promises. I ask that you take care of these rings just as you will take care of each other. May they forever be a tangible symbol of the love between you. Joe, please repeat after me as you place this ring on Chelsea's left hand. I, Joe, take you, Chelsea, to be my wife. I give you this ring as a symbol of my everlasting love for you. Chelsea, please repeat after me as you place this ring on Joe's left hand. I, Chelsea, take you, Joe, to be my husband. I give you this ring as a symbol of my everlasting love for you. There, good. You got soap? Yeah, there we go. There you go. I have a final toast for Chelsea and Joe before they are officially wedded in marital bliss. May your marriage bring you all the exquisite excitements a marriage should bring. May you need one another, but not out of weakness. May you want one another, but not out of lack. May you look for things to praise, often say, I love you, and take no notice of small faults. May you have happiness, and may you find it in making one another happy. May you have love, and may you find it loving one another. Having pledged their fidelity to one another in the presence of this gathering, and by the authority vested in me, it is my honor to now pronounce you husband and wife. Joe, you may kiss your bride. All right, I've been practicing this. Family and friends, it is my honor and absolute pleasure to be the first to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Joseph and Chelsea Carnashali. All right.
She's the voice I love to hear. And someday when I'm 90, she's that wooden rocking chair I want rocking right beside me. Every day that passes, I only love her more. Yeah, she's the one that I'd lay down my own life for. And she's everything I ever wanted, and everything I need. She's everything to me. Yeah, she's everything to me. Everything I ever wanted, and everything I need. She's everything to me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we begin our grand introduction tonight with the parents of the bride, Diana and Mark Insay.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing.
And now, the parents of the groom, Beverly and Joe Carnashali.
My everything and the answer to all my dreams.
Up next, we have the flower girl, Brooklyn Ansay, and the ring bearer, Kingston Ansay.
You're left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much. Or you'd be left in the dust unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
Let's bring out the bridesmaids and the groomsmen, starting with bridesmaids Ariel Lucente and groomsman Dom Carnashali.
Cause I'm a picker, I'm a grinner, I'm a lover, and I'm a sinner. I play my music in the sun. I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Up next, we have bridesmaid Steph Chianese being escorted by groomsman Dan Langlis, aka The Stash.
Bad
boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Let's put our hands together for groomsman Gary McNally being escorted by bridesmaid Megan Clark.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Let's bring out bridesmaid Alexis Cologne being escorted by groomsman Tim Yancey.
T-shirt, new shoes, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Silk suit, black tie, I don't need a reason why.
Keep those hands clapping for bridesmaid Laura Karma being escorted by groomsman Nick Amori.
Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you should big enough. Take it, yeah, baby, yeah, take it, yeah. Come here, rude boy, boy, can you get it up? Come here, rude boy, boy, you should big enough.
All right, two very special people right now. The maid of honor, Puebla Anse, and the best man, Tony Bodine.
Throw your hands in the air if you's a true player. When you call me Big Papa. To the honeys getting money, playing fellas like dummies.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's get those napkins high in the sky and make some noise for your bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Conachali!
Y'all crazy bitch, but you're so good I'm on top of it when I dream. I'm doing you all night. Sketches off down my back to keep me right on. Hey, y'all crazy bitch, but you're so good I'm on top of it when I dream. I'm doing you all night. Sketches off down my back to keep me right on.
Welcome, everybody. I never thought I'd be here for Joe. So I'm Tony, one of Joe's best friends. Joe's got a lot of good friends here, a lot of good men here tonight. Chelsea's dad, Joe's dad, all the groomsmen, a lot of good people here. According to Joe, I'm the best. So I feel good about that. Thank you. Sorry, Gary. Most of you know that I've known Joe 30 years, but some of you don't. Chelsea, your family may not know that. I've known Joe 30 years. I met Joe in 1991. Yeah, 30 years. 1991 in first grade, very old. Chelsea, I don't think you were born yet. So she was one. Good. So yeah, 1991, and it was like friendship at first sight. I thought he was so cool. He had a rat tail that was about, I mean, this is 1991. Rat tails were cool. My mom wouldn't let me have that. So he had a rat tail that was like 14 inches long. He had a pet snake. I couldn't have a pet snake. He had a pet snake. He had all bite marks on him. So that's so cool. And his dad was a race car driver. And I was, oh my God. So we've been great friends ever since. A lot of fights, right? A lot of fights. We fight like brothers. A lot of fights. We've been there for each other through it all growing up. One story that everyone wants me to bring up is 1997-ish, June. It's around June. That's important. You'll see in a second why June is ironic. It's around June, and it was a long time ago, so we're not sure if he called me or I called him. I'm not sure how it worked out, but so I get a phone call, and on my end it goes, hey, what, slow down, what's wrong? What's wrong? You what? You crashed a snowmobile. It's June. What are you riding a snowmobile? Through the garage? Like into the garage? No, through the garage? I gotta see this. I'll be right down. I got on my bike. I pedaled like I've never pedaled before. And I lived like a couple miles away. I pedaled as fast as I gotta see this shit. So I get down there, I turn the corner onto the street, and there's a cloud of dust in the air. And those of you that have known Joe as long as I have know he doesn't really exaggerate. He tells it like it is. And when I tell you this place was a war zone, he didn't. I was expecting to see the garage door with a big dent in it. The garage door was up. And as I got there, he's speechless, standing there in a cloud of dust. He's hurting, he's bleeding. And I can kind of see what happened. I can see the rip marks in the carpet. That's only the Carnascialis have a carpeted garage. But the tear marks in the carpet, so he went through the garage, from the driveway, he went through the garage. And when I say through the garage, the door was open. So he went into the garage, continued to accelerate, front skis of the snowmobile in the air, through the back wall of the garage. The back wall was pulled off, broken off the foundation. There was a door, like a regular door like that, that was blown about 40 feet into a shed. No exaggeration. No exaggeration. This looked like somebody took a dump truck through the back wall of the garage. And he looked at me and he was like, "My dad is gonna kill me." And I didn't know what, I didn't know what to say, and I was just like, no, fine. We'll clean this up. We'll clean this up. So I don't know. We spent a minute just like walking in circles, just trying to figure out where to start. We're trying to pull the wall back as if it was going to look any better, right? There's shelving things that collapse. There's stuff down the stairs into the basement, and we're out in the backyard just kind of looking at it, and then we see the Carnasciali tile and marble truck coming around the corner. We both just looked at each other, and I bailed. That's the one time I let you down, and I gotta get that off my chest. I bailed. I looked at him, I was like, "Your dad's gonna kill me too." I knew he was dead. I was pretty sure I was dead too. One of us has to tell this story. One of us has to make it out of here. So I got on that bike and I pedaled even faster this time than I did the first time. I got the hell out of there. I got 3 streets over, literally like 3 streets over. And I heard, "Joe!" Poor kid. But where's Joe? Where is he? I can't see the light. But you handled it well. I don't know that I would handle it so well. You guys fixed it. He wasn't dead. I still had a friend. And to this day, I've told you a million times, and I'll tell you again to this day, I know you probably think that I was involved because most of the shit we did, I was involved. I promise you, I showed up at the end for support. I was there strictly for support. I did not tell him to ride a snowmobile in June. I didn't, I showed up for the aftermath. So so please, I had no part in that. So that's just one of the many stories we've got growing up, getting into trouble, and it was all good fun. But Joe's parents, you guys were always great to us. All the shenanigans and whatnot. But through the years, I've watched Joe grow up with, obviously with myself, and then Chelsea, when he met you, he talked about you nonstop. And then I finally got to meet you, and I remember what you said the first time I met you. Psst, 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 psst. Can't hear that one. Huh? What? Psst, 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 psst. But I knew how Joe felt about you, and I saw the love grow, and I saw you guys had something special. And then Joe started talking about marriage, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe? I don't know, something like that. 2 years ago, Joe started talking about marriage. So I was off. I said, "Yeah, Joe, go for it. Do it. Do what you feel is right." And I, fully supported him. And then as it got closer, and he finally, he told me he had bought a ring and he was going to ask her. And then he said, randomly, he says, "You're good at contracts, right?" I said, "What?" I said, "Well, not really. I get burned by contracts all the time. I've just learned to read them a little bit." He says, "I need you to write me a contract." Joe's like George Costanza. I need a contract. I need a contract. "What do you need a contract for?" He says, you gotta write up a contract that Chelsea has to sign saying that I'll marry you, but you have to agree to not bust my balls and let me go racing and know that I'm gonna work late, I'm gonna work weekends, I'm gonna go racing, and basically I get to do whatever I want, and you're gonna be okay with it. I said, no, I'm not writing that contract. I'm not doing that. You shouldn't be getting married. You shouldn't be getting married. So I didn't write a contract, but I think there needs to be a verbal agreement. So the agreement should be that I think that one day a week, I'm putting you on the spot here. One day a week, got lights on and everything. One day a week, you need to devote, or one night a week as your date night. Pick whatever night, and you need to be home for dinner. You need to be home for dinner, have dinner with your wife. Hold on, it gets better. Have dinner with your wife, okay? And watch whatever shows she wants to watch or whatever. But you still get to go racing, all that. I'll do a contract later. I can put it all in writing. I didn't have time this week. You got, all right, she's adding stuff over here. You got to stay awake through a full movie. All right? Chelsea, does that sound good? Yep. Okay, I got one for you now. So if Joe's going to agree to that, Joe, do you agree to that?
I agree, yep.
Okay. So Chelsea, now you have to agree to something, and I'm going to put this in writing. Is your Grammy here? Where's Grammy? Point to Grammy for me. Graham, hi. I have to shake your hand. I heard that your cooking is amazing. I heard you are quite the cook. One of these days I have to try it. So it became apparent to me pretty quickly after meeting Chelsea that she will not eat anything that Grammy doesn't cook. And so obviously I have to try this food. But you got to do something about this. In fact, we went on a cruise together, and you didn't eat, and we bust you up a little bit, but it's all in good fun. But Beverly, I don't know if you know this, Beverly is an amazing cook. Amazing cook. So if Joe's going to agree to his part of the contract, you have to agree that when this woman cooks something, you're going to at least try it. Every time?
Really good.
Hey, Grammy, are you okay with that? If she ventures out a little bit and tries some other food, would that be all right? I said, would it be okay if she ventures out a little bit and tries some other food? Okay, all right. We agree to do that? Okay. All right. Enough picking on you two. I'm truly happy, truly honored to be your best man, Joe. Happy to be here, happy to see everybody. Michaela wanted me to say something nice and sweet, and it was something about rain and knots getting wet and weddings and stuff like that. It didn't rain today. So there's another one that I saw and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. You don't marry the person you can live with, you marry the person you can't live without. Oh, isn't that sweet? And I thought of you too. So everybody join me in raising a glass. That's yours. I need a glass. Give me something here. Yeah, give me that one right there. Oh, perfect. Join me in raising a glass to the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Carnashali. Congratulations, guys. Wish you years and years of happiness. All right, Pueblo, you're up.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tony. All right, I'm sweating, guys, so bear with me here. I first want to thank my in-laws, Diana and Mark, and Mr. and Mrs. Carnashal, Bev and Joe, for throwing this amazing celebration and the dinner last night. I'm Puebla Chelsea's sister-in-law, and I'm married to her brother, Tim. And I don't know if you guys could stand up so everyone can see that who you are, and everybody give them a big round of applause. Please. Bev, Joe standing. Bev and Joe Carnashali, and Mark and Diana Ansay. You guys look so pretty tonight. You really do, Dad. And Mom and Bev, you've never looked more stunning either. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to try to be funny here. I'd also like to say, Tony, you had the best speech of all time. I'm not even going to try to top it. I had this whole bit planned out where I was going to make fun of people last night. You know, I was going to talk about how my husband's hairline is following in his father's footsteps. And some blurb about how Nick has more exes than Taylor Swift. You know, how Gary finally held his liquor through a ceremony. And when I originally brought this up to Joe, he was like, no, like, you don't, I don't think you want to do that. And I was like, all right, well, I just didn't want to be, like, emotional tonight. I wanted to keep it light and funny. And yesterday morning, I don't know, his Monster Energy drink must have kicked in, because by 8:30, I had receipts. I mean, like, I had 30 years of, like, dirt. It was like, there was pictures, there was, like, a Vegas trip, there was, like, a birth certificate at some point. I thought there was a little kid outside standing with a Scuba Steve doll. And I was like, all right, baby, let's go, let's do this. Straight out of an Adam Sandler movie. It was wild. But I decided against saying all of those things after having a wonderful conversation last night with the officiant, Chelsea and Tim's cousin Jenny, and actually with Bev. We talked a lot about how, you know, family dynamics happen and how people come in and out of your life when you need it the most. And Jenny mentioned, I think Chelsea is the first one in our family who's marrying into an equally large family. You know, there were so many people there last night. And it made me think of this ladder. You know, life's kind of like a ladder, and this ladder holds, like, pieces of all of our hearts that couldn't be here today. And it's funny because I think that you don't notice someone's presence until they're absent. But when you don't start with a lot and you marry into a family like this, that's, like, really embracing and welcoming and supportive, that you genuinely feel your ladder getting stronger. You know, we lose people and the rungs in our ladders get a little bit weaker, and it just seems harder to climb. But yesterday, being around all of you and meeting the groomsmen, their wives, you know, knowing Bev and Joe for a couple of years now, they raised 2 beautiful boys. I just realized that, you know, Chelsea gets to experience that too. You know, like, she got to marry into this wonderful group of people who are just going to strengthen and support her ladder and make them climb higher and farther than they could ever go. And I did want to mention one thing that Chelsea said at Kyle and Julia's wedding that I never forgot. She said, I knew you were the one when I first kissed you because you gave me butterflies. And then she said, and I still feel that way every time you kiss me. So, yeah, you were pretty drunk. I don't know if you remember that part. So I feel like Joe, when he walked into Chelsea's life, I saw her getting stronger, and I saw her becoming more confident and speaking up more, and I saw her just being her genuine self. And I watched Joe continue to race and work 2 jobs and still build an entire house for her. And that just, I don't know, I feel like he walked in at the right time, and you guys built her a really strong ladder. So thank you all for being who you are and for embracing her and supporting them and being here tonight. I love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the maid of honor and best man.
Her sitting there, sweatpants, t-shirt, and a comfy chair. Her hair in a bun, one hand on a mug, and the other one's playing snare. To a George Strait vinyl, that yes or no line'll get her close, but I don't think she can understand just how far I've been letting my heart fall to what's in my head. She don't know I got some big, big plans. Build a little house out on some hand-me-down land. Find a little island where we go to get tan. I bet we take our kids down there one day. And I know she wouldn't mind if I did a little something like find a flight overnight to paradise and leave tonight. And I'ma put a diamond on her hand. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know. She don't know. I already bought a ring, hid it in the bottom left drawer right beside the sink. Shiny emerald diamond on a brand new band. Asked her mama for permission and her daddy for a hand. I got some big, big plans. Build a little house out on some hand-me-down land. Find a little island where we go to get tan. I bet we take our kids down there one day. And I know she wouldn't mind if I did a little something like find a flight overnight to paradise and leave tonight. And I'ma put a diamond on her hand. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know. Well, here I go, 'cause right now we're back in her hometown, and I'm down on one knee. I guess she finally figured out I'm gonna ask her to marry me. I got some big, big plans. Build a little house out on some hand-me-down land. Find a little island where we go to get tan. I bet we take our kids down there one day. And I know she wouldn't mind if I did a little something like find a flight overnight to paradise and leave tonight. And I'ma put a diamond on her hand. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know. She don't know I got some big, big plans. She don't know, she don't know.
Your mom and I are a mess, seeing you in that dress. Our little girl is now grown, and I remember how sweet when you danced on my feet. Now you stand on your own. You'll always be my little girl, my whole life, my whole world, my little girl.
This dance is more than just a dance. It gives me one more chance to show the world how proud I am of you. And as we dance, dance around this room like we did when you were two. My little girl, this dance is just for you. Walk down the aisle, such a beautiful smile, beauty only God could create. Tears fill my eyes as I realize I have to give you away. You'll always be my little girl. Gives me one more chance to show the world how proud I am of you. And as we dance, dance around this room like we did when you were two. My little girl, this dance is just for you. Just a dance, it gives me one more chance to show the world how proud I am of you. And as we dance, dance around this room like we did when you were two. My little girl, this dance is just for you. My little girl, dance is just for you.
Have I told you lately that I love you? And have I told there's no one else above you? You fill my heart with gladness, you take away all my sadness, you ease my troubles, that's what you do. For the morning sun in all its glory meets the day with hope and comfort too. You fill my life with laughter, somehow you make it better. You ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love less defined, and it's yours and mine, like the sun. At the end of the day, we should give thanks and pray to the one, to the one. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told there's no one else above you? You fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, you ease my troubles, that's what you do.
Some sugar now.